We've got all new archetypes coming to College Football 26, plus a ton more gameplay and dynasty news and notes. Let's talk about it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into CFB, where you can see all kinds of College Football 25 and now College Football 26 content. As we lead up into the release for that game, I'll be providing news updates, and then we'll, of course, have gameplay content out for it, just like I have for College Football 25. So if you're a fan of the game, be sure you're subscribed here to the channel to stay up to date on all the College Football 26 news. Hit the thumbs up button while you're in here. Help us out with that crazy YouTube algorithm. Help us find college football video game fans like yourself. And if you're one of those and you have thoughts on some of the subjects we're about to hit here in the video, be sure to leave them in the comments. Appreciate those interactions as well. So no further ado, what we got here is I'm going to play you guys a video I clipped out from a live stream I did where I was playing some College Football 25 there in my Coach JC Dynasty series, and shared some of these College Football 26 updates because I think they're big enough that not everyone watches the gaming stream, so should bring it here as a pre-recorded video as well, because the archetypes that are in College Football 26 are all brand new. They've completely overhauled that system. All the players are going to have new archetypes for every single position, and I'll showcase those for you guys momentarily. Some really fun additions there. I like these new archetypes better than what we got on 25, to be honest with you. And I think that we also had some really good news and notes, both on gameplay and on Dynasty, coming from this account Pushing Peter on social media. And where all this is coming from, guys, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen on social media, is the College Football 26 closed beta, which unfortunately there's been a ton of leaks come out of that. There wasn't supposed to be. Personally, I'm not going to share any of the screenshots or video clips that have been going around on social media here. You can find those on social media yourself. But I will take, these things here because they're just little notes that people have gathered about the game, the new archetypes. Someone put all those together, and then someone made a list of some really nice updates that they noticed while they were playing the game. So I want to share that list here that you'll see from Pushing Peter. So that's what we got coming up here. Let me know some of your all's thoughts in the comments on some of this stuff we're about to hit on. I think it's some really exciting stuff for College Football 26. So with no further ado, I'll stop babbling, let you guys check this out. The brand new archetypes for the game and some really fun details about gameplay and Dynasty mode. Wear and tear sliders for different types of hits and how much they impact wear and tear. Sacks, hit sticks, normal tackles, etc. Also recovery sliders for per play, per timeout, per half, and per game that you can set for your players there. So a ton of different adjustments you can make in wear and tear, not only in game, but even further in Dynasty, it sounds like. Then we got the transfer settings, which I'm excited about. You can set a max amount of transfers that will leave a team. The default is 15, so I'm guessing that means that on average, around 15 players will transfer out of your team. But if you don't make any adjustments there, I'm sure you can set it lower. I'll be interested to see if I'm sure you can set it higher, but I wonder if you can set it to no limit and really make it the wild, wild west out there in your dynasties and have a ton of transfers, which happens in real life. I'm a WVU football fan, and they've had a ton of movement this offseason. We've got 50 plus new transfers coming in, 20 some new freshmen, 70 new players. So people do have to overhaul entire rosters in today's day and age. And if you want, ultimate simulation, I think we should be able to set it to no limit and let it just happen as frequently as possible, really, I guess you could put it. Player customization, no major gear changes. Helmet, face mask interface 100% better. You can edit QB throwing motion, shotgun stance, under center stance, running style, and halfback, wide receiver, cornerback stances too. And this is from Pushing Peter is the name on social media that shared this list of some of the things that he liked and maybe some of the things he didn't like from the game that he picked up on here from playing the closed beta. But I thought some really good stuff was pointed out in here. One of these next ones is one of those where it says you can also manually now upgrade players. That's going to be big for our dynasties. They earn coins, and you choose to apply them. You buy both ratings and abilities. I think this next one's probably more so just because of a beta issue where this is an older version of the game where it says, that the abilities reset when you do position changes. I expect that won't be the case when the real game comes around, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. Coach abilities, it says for recruiter, they moved increased recruiting hours of position to elite recruiting tier 4, so a little bit harder to get to. Tons of new archetypes, which I'll hit on that momentarily. I do have a list of all the new archetypes that someone else shared as well. But halfbacks have 6 total archetypes now. East-West back and elusive bruiser backs are the ones that can get the shifty ability. And shifty ability is now tied to both change of direction and acceleration.
He said he saw a physical route runner that had 50-50 and downhill abilities. Interesting. So the receiver with the downhill ability, that's pretty cool. We talked a bit about the depth chart positions on the roster in a video on the channel previously, a pre-recorded video, which hopefully you've checked that out if you haven't in the past. We talked about their edge being on there, nose tackle being on there, gadget and long snapper. But additionally, we're going to have the Sam, Mike, and Will linebacker positions, which is awesome. An awesome touch there as well. Formation subs in, of course, as we knew. History tab shows previous champs and award winners. There's no trophy room in the beta, but that's just the beta. We know it'll be there in the regular version. There has been a screenshot going around of the history tab on social media as well. Stat increase, it now shows very clearly if a player went up in a specific stat in the menu. Dev trade increase. I also got to learn that a player went up from impact to star. Dev trade is easily viewable from the roster screen now. That's cool though. Your dev trades can upgrade, which is awesome. Nice touch there. Players gained weight in the offseason. Recruiting is similar, but a lot of quality of life updates telling you quickly if they're rising or lowering. We talked about some of those in the past. Pro potential for deal breaker seems to be fixed to by position and looks back further than 1 year. So there's some of the dynasty ones. He also shared a gameplay one here as well. And then I'll show you guys some of them custom archetypes. So here's the gameplay one that he shared. Custom zones on defense are like the custom routes, which we thought they'd kind of be like custom stems or for the offense. For PS5, you hit triangle, then triangle again. Select the players whose zone you want to change. Hold L1 and then up or down to change the depth. So exactly like custom stems function on offense, that's how they function on defense. This next one's going to be big. QBs can use the juke stick behind the line of scrimmage while sprinting. So got ball carrier moves with your quarterback now, which helps. That'll help with sack avoidance. That'll help, option plays, all of that good stuff. And then, of course, dynamic subs at the line of scrimmage up on the D-pad triggers a new menu for the formation you're in where you can quickly move each position and assign a substitution for the next time you're in that formation, and you can reset to the starters with triangle. There's also dynamic abilities, which we talked about. He had a gold shifty halfback. He got hot and it upgraded to platinum for a few drives. So not only dynamic in upgrading throughout your seasons, but upgrading in game even for certain drives. If a guy gets hot, their abilities can upgrade a level. That's cool. Also showed for his quarterback and offensive line when they played well. Zone coverage seemed better, but he said he didn't deep dive it. They added stunts, which we knew they would add in the twists and the stunts. When in play selection, use circle, triangle, X to select a play. If you want to add a stunt twist to the plays, pass rush, you press and hold the play button, and a submenu will pop up where you can select the adjustments you want to make to the play. I like the way that they implemented that in the plays call screen. Notice more sponsors, because now you won't have to be rushing to try and make those adjustments pre-snap. Of course, more sponsors. We knew about the Lowe's when we talked about that in the past. All-state sponsor on the kicking net. Ooh, good to have that on there. That'll make it feel more realistic. Mountain Dew, Discovery. He said it felt like a broadcast with all of those sponsors, which is nice. Blocking feels good, but I haven't played too many OP teams to find out if quick jump is wild. And these two lower things are probably the most exciting thing to me that I saw when I saw this update shared, because you guys know one of my favorite things in the updates that we've gotten so far is that there's over 2,800 new plays coming to College Football 26, right? And with that, I'm excited to see what those are. I'm excited that it looks like a lot of them are going to use orbit motion and motion type plays. And even further, now I know they're going to have double motion on the game, guys. Listen to this shit. There's some cool double motion plays. A guy motions and gets set, and then another player motions on the play. That's awesome. And then how about this? Double motion power read. Both quarterback and halfback move over a step. The halfback takes a snap and runs power read with himself and the quarterback with their positions swapped there. Other than that, I do want to share the archetype updates with you guys. So here are the new archetypes. We know on quarterback in College Football 25, we had like improviser, scrambler, field general, all changing in College Football 26. The new archetypes, and I don't know if I'll clip this out of this live stream or just do this in a separate video because I think it's big enough news to talk about with that. At quarterback, you're going to be able to be a backfield creator, a pure runner, a dual threat, or a pocket passer, which I'm guessing, dual threat is probably more for like spread-based offenses. I would think pure runners maybe more like if you're running a triple option style offense, but maybe you could take a pure runner and try and make him work in a different scheme. You never know. Running back, and here's where we talk a little bit about what he was saying there about the shifty ability. You have to be, I don't know if you have to be, but he said he saw it on the elusive bruisers were able to get the shifty ability, and the east-west playmaker was able to get the shifty ability. But at running back, the new archetypes this year, elusive bruiser, north-south blocker, east-west playmaker, backfield threat, and north-south receiver. And then at wide receiver this year, we're going to have elusive route runner, gritty possession, contested specialist, gadget, and route artist. Which not surprised to see gadget at all to fit in with the new gadget position they're going to have on the depth chart. But I like the way that they went ahead and changed all these archetypes. I like the updates here. I'll be interested to see how each one of them plays in the new game. And then on tight end, you're going to have a vertical tight end, a gritty possession tight end, a physical route runner, a possession, or a pure blocker. And do want to remind you guys, this is not Road to Glory. These are the archetypes that are going to be on all the players in the game, your recruits, all of that stuff. These are the archetypes that you're going to see. Offensive line, raw strength, well-rounded, pass protector, and agile. Edge, which of course one of the new positions on the game, of course. The different types of edge archetypes are speed rusher, edge setter, power rusher, and physical freak. Defensive tackle, gap specialist, physical freak, power rusher, and speed rusher. And then at linebacker, they have lurker, which people that use their linebackers are going to love that they actually have a archetype of lurker now, because everyone tries to go for those user lurk interceptions. Then they have a thumper and a signal caller. And then at corner, we have bump and run. And then I like that they now have the archetypes being field, zone, and boundary versus being like a man corner, zone corner. Now they have boundary corner, field corner, more so on the game, bump and run and zone as the archetypes there. So those are the updated archetypes, and those are the little updates I wanted to share with you of some stuff that's come out from the closed beta there.
All right, so there you have it. Really exciting stuff, right? If the archetypes don't get you hype enough, what gets me the most hype there is those new plays that they're talking about at the bottom. I can't wait to see what all else they have there that they've put in there that's kind of innovative, like those two additions that they were talking about at the bottom of those notes there. Those are just a couple of my favorite things, though. What are a couple of your favorites that you saw here in this video? Throw them in the comments. Appreciate those interactions. Be sure hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the college football 26 news, get gameplay content. If you're a fan of the college football video game, keep it locked in here by hitting that subscribe button. We'd appreciate that, just like we appreciate you tuning into this video, and I will catch you on the next one.